You're obsessed with this girl.
All right, it's not an obsession, okay? It's just a hobby.
The perfect picture.
Right.
Dark corner as usual. I think I might be falling for you. I love you. You gonna make me beg? I promise. I'll behave.
I thought you were over that.
Apparently not.
She's out of my league. I'll never get her. Just say hi, okay? It's not that hard. Just say hi.
Hey.
If your friends could see you now.
What was that about? Nothing. We had a deal, Oscar.
No strings attached. I forgot about that.
I will not be seen as another one of your hoochies.
What'd you get into this time?
What's up, ladies?
You know, Lena's Alex's cousin, right?
Yeah, so?
Get off, asshole.
It's like bitches running packs. You need to stop jumping in like that, Rosie.
I know what's happening with you and Oscar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just think about your next move and think about it carefully.
I like those pictures.
Yeah. It's a cool project. And you're like that really hot girl in movies that it's like really mean to everyone, but nice.
Have you kissed her yet?
No, I'm just waiting for like the perfect moment.
Yeah, actually, I leave right after the graduation ceremony.
It's not easy, you know. I gotta do what I gotta do.
All I need is an excuse, kid. Rent money, kid.
Don't worry about it, little Casper. I'll take care of you.
Okay, Stephanie's more trouble than what she's worth.
How would you know what she's worth?
I'm not doing anything wrong.
Hanging with that guy, I'm sure you already did wrong. It was fun and all, but that was it.
You're gonna regret this, Casper. You're gonna regret this.
You better watch your back, bitch. Blast him! 6th Street Locos!
So that's it. It's over. Everyone's gonna go their separate ways, and that's where it ends.
Ahí está, chavos. So that was the film. That was the trailer. So we're going to have Eddie in just 1 second. Now, Super Mojado, you said you watched it, dude. Give me your thoughts of the film. What did you think?
Well, it was good. I mean, it covered a lot of subjects that that our community goes through at some one point or another. You know, from my view, you know, like alcoholism from a young age. You know, crime that's a lot of it happens a lot in our culture, especially in like a state like California, where everything is accessible to you. Right. You know, to become a gang member or to get into drugs, stuff like that. It's some of the realistic stuff that, you know, I saw that, right. Like he said, he based on a true story. I want to know all right, more about this. So
here we go. So without further ado, here's the director, writer of the film, Eddie Ruiz. ¿Qué onda, Eddie? ¿Cómo estás? What's up, dude?
What's happening, guys? Can you hear me?
Absolutely, man.
Yes, Eddie.
Okay.
I can't see you guys, but I can hear you.
All right, Eddie. So first of all, I mean, we all know that this is based off a true story. And could you talk to us just about your inspiration and, you know, just give us a little bit more context regarding the story?
Well, the movie came out maybe 10 years ago, actually. This next month, actually. It's going to be exactly 10 years. But I wrote it about 4 years before that. So, I mean, I wrote it about, you know, living life in Santa Ana back in the 90s. We didn't have enough money to make it look like the 90s, but I tried to keep the feel of it in there and then tell that story from a different perspective. Because when I was growing up, and I was everything I saw was about cholos, but it was more like it was all gang or nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I wanted to see it on the perspective of a kid like me who grew up in the middle of everything, but I never did join a gang. You know,
Right.
but I was friends with all gangsters and stuff like Casper and all that stuff. He was a real person actually. So I wanted to give that perspective at that moment.
I bet super. What's your question, brother? Because I know that you're really curious right now.
Well, yeah, it was. Was this based on like a friend, or is this? Were you part of this film? I mean, is this what a part of your life story, or what is it about?
Yeah, just like I said, it's situations that I went through when I was younger. I mean, not everything, of course. I took a few liberties to tell a story, but uh, some most of it is something that I lived through.
All right, and I guess the good question, biggest question is, does does the girl come back?
Actually, she never does.
Uh,
You
yeah.
you have to wait for part two, I guess.
A ver. Oh, yes. I hear that people are having actually a couple of technical issues. They apparently cannot hear you, Eddie. So we're going to try to see if we can sort it out. But apparently, super mojado. And Edwin, you guys hear Eddie pretty good, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Eddie, Edwin, do you have any questions for Eddie?
Was it difficult to tell a story to have the way you were trying to do it, tell that story to transfer your thoughts of what you wanted to do and put it into the movie the way you wanted to do it?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard because it gets personal. So the movie that you see now is not what I first wrote because I wrote it, I think, like 20 times as I grew a little older and a little older, because at first it was very personal and I was really mad at some of the situations that I went through. So it was very personal. So a lot of people that would read it, they would go like, I don't get it. Because it was all, it was all about me almost, So as I grew up a little more, I got a little more detached from it, and I started telling more of a story that I wanted everybody else to know about, and at least listen to some of the messages that I threw in there. So it is kind of hard, and especially when you see it in the big screen, and I'm sitting all the way in the back, and to relive those little moments that I had already forgotten about almost, or I was really mad about. It was kind of hard, but it was pretty cool to watch everybody enjoying the film.
Hey, Eddie, can you talk to us about some of the biggest challenges you had in making this film?
The biggest challenge, I mean, it's as always money.
La lana.
But it's la lana. But we found a group of people that they were generous with their time, and then also donated. I mean, we did a lot of. There was no crowdfunding back then yet, as
Right.
big as it is now. But it was more like little donations. We would do little club nights and all that stuff. So I almost said a bad word, so catch me.
Uh,
But that was the hardest part, to get funding and to get people to believe in it, because like I said, I didn't want to make it be another Latino film, quote
mhm.
unquote. I wanted just to be a film, a story, somebody to watch, and it was hard. We did it in 12 days, so it was thanks to Marcial Rios and the other producers that made this thing happen, because it was literally nobody believed that we could do it in 12 days.
Yeah. There's a lot of lessons that the film teaches you. And a lot of people that, are younger, they don't understand how difficult it was to grow up in places like Orange County, right? A lot of people think of the OC, especially from, outside of Southern California. When they think of the OC, they think of, the TV show. They think of all the blondes and all the, Laguna Hills and all that stuff, for lack of a better term. But why don't you give people more context on what growing up in Orange County was really like?
Well, I mean, it still had the blondes and the rich areas and all that stuff. I mean, that's where we used to go to the Huntington Beach just to look at the blondes. But it was Santa Ana was pretty tough. I mean, there was at least that I know there were at least 5 gangs in a few mile square radius. So there was always gang violence, and it's you had to walk through it, and either you were friends with one or you couldn't be seen talking to the other because they would think you were with the other. So it was kind of hard. So when I never joined the gang, but when I met my friend, which was Casper, rest in peace. Uh, I got more into. I even started dressing like them and all that stuff, bald head, you know, and it's you get more deep into what the whole lifestyle is because they were like veteranos since they were like you know
Right.
3 generation gangsters and stuff, and I was barely came from El Salvador. So I came here when I was 13, so I could barely speak English. So it was kind of like new to me, but it
Right.
was it was it was pretty hard.
Hey, I know that right now, as I mentioned, we're having some technical issues, and it looks like people can't hear you right now. But either way, we're going to end up reposting this interview and making sure that everybody can actually listen to what you have to say. We are going to give you your time, Eddie. Don't worry, all right? We're going to make sure it happens. But if anybody has a question right now, we're looking at the comments. Let us know. And again, his answers will definitely go up. Edwin, you didn't even watch the movie, brother, so I shouldn't even be allowing you to ask questions, dude.
No. I didn't have. I'm sorry. I didn't. I do apologize.
Nada.
I've been super busy with work, so.
Puras excusas. Hey, Eddie, one thing that is pretty incredible is that the movie lay dormant for how long? 10 years, more or less.
10 years.
And then it finally reacquired, like, or as you mentioned, right? A new audience found it or rediscovered it. Why do you think that was the case? How do you think that happened?
Well, let me tell you a little story pretty quick because it's a long story. But it when we premiered it, I mean, we had a lot of people loved it. I mean, it's a lot of people like this, so we thought, okay, we're gonna get a little good opportunities out of this. So we tried to put it on DVD. Actually, I'm the only one that has one single DVD of it because on the process of making the DVD, the drives died. All the footage was wiped out. I thought, and back then there were no software that could just, oh, let's just retrieve it again. You had to take it to somebody, and they were going to charge you more money. So it was like it was too expensive for us at that moment, and we just pretty much let it go because I mean I thought it was gone, and we only had one quick time of it, and it was really low res. So we left it as it was. Last year there was this software, and I retried the drive to get it back on, and I was able to save one high resolution file of the movie. So I just put it on YouTube and forgot about it. A year later, I see it on one of the groups that I am in. It's called Santa Ana Problems, and people were just watching it. And my friend calls me, tells me, "Hey, people are watching your movie a lot." So it started just exploring from there. So that's how it came back up.
That's an incredible story, man. I mean, sometimes all it takes is just that one particular moment, right? For somebody to be able to hook you up. In this case, that Santa Ana Problems page, right, ended up like doing its thing. So that's awesome, dude. Hey, so what are some of the things that you would probably recommend to an aspiring filmmaker? Maybe like some of the things that you learned along making that movie.
If you're gonna get into this, you gotta love it because it's hard. It's not. I mean, it's out of one person that makes it. There's a million broken dreams. So you gotta really, really want it if you're gonna jump into it, and never give up. Never ever give up. If you really want it, you're gonna get it. I mean, it's been 10 years, and I look at it and I know the film could have been a lot better, but the heart's still there. You know,
Right.
it's we did it with a lot of heart. So I mean, it's not shot with the nice cameras that we have now and all that stuff, but the story's there, you know, and it can always be reshot. So so
Right.
just go do it. So just get out there, do it. Right now, you have more tools than we had before. You know, you have the Facebook and
All kinds
Instagram
of
and all
things.
that good stuff. So
Yeah.
so just go tell your story. That's the whole point.
That's great, Eddie. Hey, listen, we're running out of time here, but I know, like I said, that we're having a little bit of technical issues here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rescind the invitation. We're gonna actually re-invite you for, if you will, once again to come back. Make sure that we have all these technical issues under control. Also, we are gonna post this interview, all right? So we'll be able to share this later on, and as a separate clip, so that way everybody who actually got an opportunity, didn't get an opportunity to listen to what Eddie had to say, will. All right, so that's going to be coming up pretty soon. So Eddie, what do you say? Are you willing to come back again?
Yeah, for sure. Let me know when. We have a lot more projects coming up. Like right now, you just got me writing my next script. So, and we worked on a series that it's getting out there right now. So, and it's also based on this movie actually. So it's pretty cool. So we got a lot more stuff. So anytime.
Great. All right. So we definitely look forward to that, dude. And we really appreciate you taking your time. All right. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you guys.